Do I pay or do you pay Medicare taxes on retirement income? That's a chewy subject. Hi, I'm Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. I know a lot of you out there are inching toward that decision and what happens to Medicare, how is that taxed? Bottom line, I am going to tell you my opinion on everything, but you gotta, at the end of the day, talk to your CPA and tax lawyer for them to, bless it. That's my blessing. But let's get into the details after this. All right, so typically Medicare taxes only apply to earned income, like you have a job. Annuity type income, no, but I'm gonna have to throw in that little asterisk on that. You high earners out there, there are some hurdles for you that you have to talk with your CPA and tax lawyer about. Before the vast majority, the answer is no. Look at the date of this taping. Okay, and it's very important because even though this is evergreen content and lives on forever, the nuclear bomb hits and people still watching Stan the Annuity Man YouTube videos. Our country, as you know, has a little bit of a debt issue. At the time of this taping, it's 37 to 39 trillion. I think it's $1 trillion of interest we pay per year. Check the date. 5 years from now, they'll be like, trillion, that's nothing. My point is that I think a lot of this could and might change because our politicians, have a spending problem, okay? And they somehow can't cut spending. A cut to them is a lower increase. That's a cut somehow. I don't understand that. But what I don't want you to do is think that, okay, we've locked this in, we're going to be grandfathered in and we might not ever be taxed on this ever again. I hope that's true. I tell people that own Roth IRAs, no offense to Roth IRAs, I hope that they don't change those rules because I remember a long, long time ago when they used to say, the politicians, we're never going to tax Social Security. We're never, ever going to tax Social Security. Guess what? It's taxed now. Same thing with currently, it's earned income that is taxed with Medicare, et cetera, and annuities and PIN and 401ks, all that stuff, it's not. That's probably going to change because the stats are ugly. 60+% of people that are 65 years or older, I believe, have less than $10,000 to their name. Over 55% of the country has their net worth in their front pocket, so be careful who you flip off on the road because they have nothing to lose. Now, those people are also called voters. They're working hard. It just hadn't worked out. They're voters, so they're going to vote for their livelihood. And their livelihood is going to involve people that have money and what I call the evil rich. I was talking to a guy the other day and I said, you do understand that you and Martha are considered the evil rich? And he goes, ain't no way, we hadn't made that much money. We just put it away and scrimped and saved. And of course you did. And that's good, but for politicians, they're going to go after taxable things. So I'm answering the question today that it doesn't apply to annuities, but in the future, it might, and for rich people right now, it does. So they're already doing that what they call in South Philly, East Jersey, the salami game. They just keep slicing away, and they keep putting their foot inside the door, and they're saying, yeah, for everybody, you don't have to pay tax on it. But if you're a high income earner, of which they define, then there's a taxation on it. There's some acronym, I forgot what it is, RIT or whatever it is, I forgot what it was. But we have to deal with that when working with our clients' CPAs and tax lawyers. Bottom line, when you're building your income floor, build it with some extra fluff. So you're looking at Social Security, you're looking at your RMDs on your IRA, you're looking at the pension income if you're getting that, if you're so fortunate. Only 9% of the people get pensions. Dividend income, all the income that's coming in, okay? If that's sufficient, great, but there needs to be a little bit of padding in there in case these tax laws do change, in case they do start raising taxes or taxing things that currently aren't taxed. And yes, hopefully they grandfather you into whatever rule was intact when you made the decision and then they change it. But there's no guarantee with that, especially at the debt levels that we're running. And this isn't political. I could care less. I don't like both parties. I don't even like the third party, whatever that is. I don't like any of it, okay? Because it's all about power. It shouldn't be about power. It should be about us, the country. Yes, I should run, I know what you're saying. But what I want you to come away from this video is, yes, the tax law is in place. Yes, we can make decisions on the tax laws in place, but we also need to prepare when they eventually and potentially will change those tax laws. So I was like mid-stroke with that video. I'm like, I'm going to go over to my computer and look up the percentage for high income earners, what they have to pay. It's 3.8% at the time of this taping. Now, Medicare, as you know, is part of the whole FICA thing and part of earned income. But somehow 3.8% for high earners, and I didn't dig deep into what that is because I'm afraid to. Might include me. Bottom line is, right now, at the time of this taping, annuities don't apply because, you know, Medicare payment's part of FICA and is part of earned income. But will that change in the future? Maybe. Now, there's a lot of smart people out there that are saying, it'll never change, Stan, you know, the policy. You cannot say that. You cannot say that with the current situation in this country at the time of this taping, with debt, with fraud, with all the things that are happening that you either, you know, some of you agree with it, some of you don't agree with it, not sure what's true on the news. But use annuities for lifetime income. Use annuities as the pensions you don't have. Use annuities to solve for longevity risk. Go to my site at The Annuity Man and shop all carriers for the highest contractual guarantee for your specific situation. Schedule a call with my team so they can talk with you. Not sell you, talk with you. Can you purchase through us? Yes. We're the #1 sellers of fixed annuities on the planet. I'm the top agent in the world. But that's not the point. The point is, we're going to listen to you. And if an annuity doesn't fit, we're going to tell you. If you're being pitched something, we're going to tell you the truth about it. Annuities do not solve for inflation. You already have the best inflation annuity on the planet, which is Social Security. We can solve for inflation at the time you need that gap filled by reverse engineering an immediate annuity quote. Bottom line, with annuities, they're contracts. They're a contract between you and the issuing life insurance company. Life insurance companies issue annuities. It's a contract, so only consider the contractual guarantees of the policy. I'm the pioneer of that. I started the whole CGO, contractual guarantees only. I started that. Hopefully people will continue to follow me, because when you do that, when you buy annuities like that, you're happy, okay? Do me a favor, one last thing, because I know that this was, I don't know, it's kind of a stump speech without me running, but that's okay. You know, as my grandfather told me, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. That's the truth. That's the way I see it. With my 30 plus years of experience. Do me a favor. Above my head is a box. You're going to see kind of a countdown clock. And that box, that link, will take you to another video that explains the process of if you did decide to use us and become a client. It's very informative. I go through everything, how it works, soup to nuts, front to back, the whole thing. Bottom line is we take care of it, but you need to know how that works. My name is Stan the Annuity Man. See you next time.